I just got a call from Leo F. Drummond. He's a partner at Tinley Britt, an excellent trial lawyer. Rarely loses. I know all about Tinley Britt. Well, soon you'll know them even better. They represent great benefit. Drummond is the lead lawyer. Bruiser is talking so fast because he's worried. He's filed a $10 million lawsuit against a big company that's represented by a lawyer he really admires. What did he say? He tells me the judge will be Harvey Hale, an old friend of his. He thinks a fair verdict is one under $10,000. Sorry, I asked. So, we have Leo F. Drummond and his staff, and they have their favorite judge. You've got a lot of work to do. Me? What about you? Oh, I'll be around, but this is your case. Remember, they get paid by the hour. The more paper they produce, the more hours they can charge their client for. He laughs and shuts the door. I suddenly feel very lonely. Wednesday arrives, and the exam papers are passed out at exactly 8 a.m. It's absolutely impossible to tell how well I'm prepared. Booker and I have lunch together, but not a word is spoken about the exam. Dinner is a sandwich, and I'm in bed by 9. The exam ends at 5 p.m. Friday. We eat pizza, drink a few beers, but are too tired to get drunk. Booker tells me on the way home that the exam has made him physically ill. He's certain that he's failed it. I sleep for 12 hours. On Monday, there's a note on my desk to see Bruiser. He pushes a pile of paper across to me. This is why it's painful to sue big companies. This is Great Benefit's motion to dismiss the Blacks lawsuit, and it's supported by a 64-page document. They'll file every motion they can. They make money, the trial is delayed. You're exhausted. Get busy. After the third reading, I calm down and start taking notes. I think about how much I hate Great Benefit and what it's done to my client, and I work hard. Deck has developed a habit of stopping by my office on his way to lunch. Today, he tells me he thinks Bruiser is in trouble with a former business partner who has testified against him. Saturday, a month after I took the bar exam, I get a letter telling me that I passed the bar. The next morning, I shower and go to an expensive coffee bar and read the papers. There's something about the bar exam and a list of people who passed. There I am. It's true. I search for Booker Kane, but he's not listed. I can see him now, helping Charlene dress the children, trying to smile, trying to persuade them both that he'll pass it next time. But I know he's worried about his job. Booker is a proud man who's always believed he could achieve anything. I would love to drive over there, but it wouldn't work. He'll call tomorrow and congratulate me. Bruiser calls Deck and me into his office. He congratulates me on passing the bar exam before talking about the Van Lendel settlement. The Van Lendels will be calling in for their share of the $100,000 later today. He feels that Deck and I should get something for our work. It's been a quick settlement, and Bruiser has worked on it for less than 6 hours. Deck and I are wondering what he did for 6 hours. His share is a third, $33,000. I'm going to give you boys a third of that, to be split equally. Thanks, Bruiser. That's really generous, I say. Yeah, thanks, says Deck. We're both surprised, but we're thinking that Bruiser gets $22,000 for 6 hours' work. But I didn't expect anything, and suddenly I feel wealthy. Are we ready for tomorrow? Bruiser asks me. We're going to argue against Great Benefit's motion to dismiss the case. I think so, I reply nervously. I might let you handle some of the argument, so be ready. All three of us will go to court. They'll have 20 people there. Deck and I have lunch at a steakhouse. Very strange, he says. It's not usual for Bruiser to give money away like this. Something's going to happen. Believe me, I know it is. Like what? They're watching him, the police. They'd love to put him out of business. Out of business? Yeah, and we'll be caught in the middle. I tell you, Rudy, I'm nervous. So what are you saying? We've got to get out. Now. I start to ask what he means, but it's obvious. Deck can't work alone, and I've passed the bar exam, so he needs me. We've got money now, says Deck. We could rent an office, start our own business. No, it's too expensive, I reply. Deck looks at me and smiles. Hey, I've already found a great place, and it's cheap. Now, wait a minute, Deck. Believe me, we've got to move. I know things, Rudy. Things I can't tell you, okay? Bruiser's in big trouble. I strongly suspect Deck is telling the truth. Let me sleep on it. Okay, let's meet before court tomorrow. In a cafe. We can't talk in our office. Take your files home and anything else you might want from your office. Now. This afternoon. I don't sleep much, and it's still dark when I meet Deck. Well, he says. Let's try it for a year, I say. Deck can't hide his excitement. He holds his hand out for me to shake. It's a big moment for him. Did you remove all your files? He whispers. Yes. And you? I've been taking stuff out for a week. At 8, we walk down to our offices, but by 8:15, Bruiser has still not arrived. He said he'd be there at 8. Deck and I leave the office at 8:45. Relax, Deck says. Bruiser will be in court, and if he's not, you'll do fine. Just shut up and drive, Deck. Bruiser is not outside the courtroom, and as I slowly push open the door and look inside, the first thing I don't see is Bruiser. He's not here. The unpleasant man looking angrily at me must be Judge Harvey Hale. To my left is a group of men who all look the same. Short hair, dark suits, white shirts, straight ties, hard faces, nasty little smiles. Excuse me, sir. I'm here for the Black case. And who are you? My name's Rudy Baylor. I work for Bruiser Stone. Where's Mr. Stone? The judge asks. I'm not sure. He was supposed to meet me here. Do you want to argue this motion later? No, sir. I'm prepared to argue the motion. Are you a lawyer? Well, I just passed the bar. But you haven't received your license? No, sir. Next week. One of the lawyers stands. For the record, my name is Leo F. Drummond of Tinley Britt. We object to this young man arguing the motion without a license. He points at me, and I hate him already. I've passed the bar exam, Your Honor. Mr. Baylor, who will handle this case? I will, Your Honor. And Mr. Stone? I can't say, but this is my case. Mr. Stone filed the suit for me until I passed the bar. Very well. Let's continue. Drummond begins and soon becomes boring. Then it's my turn. I'm nervous, and when I'm finished, the judge says, I'd like to see you both, privately. I wait for Drummond, who is polite. He even tells me I did a good job. The judge is standing behind his desk as we enter. Please, have a seat. We sit. I'm really tired of these types of lawsuits. I feel like dismissing the case. Excuse me while I visit the toilet, says Judge Hale, and steps to a smaller door across the room, locking it loudly. I'm speechless. Drummond looks at me, all warmth and smiles. Look, Rudy, I'm a very expensive lawyer from a very expensive firm. With a case like this, we calculate the cost of the trial to great benefit will be between $50,000 and $75,000. He waits for me to say something, but I just stare at his tie. Great Benefit has instructed me to offer you and your clients $75,000 to settle the case. A dozen wild thoughts race through my mind. $25,000, my fee. I can see it. But why is he offering me the money if his friend Harvey is ready to dismiss the case? And then I realize it's a routine. Harvey frightens me, and then Leo steps in with the gentle touch. How many times have they done this before, here in this office? It's a one-time offer, only good for the next 48 hours. If you say no, then it's World War III. He's smooth. His honor returns from his private little restroom, and now it's Leo's turn to excuse himself. Not a great lawsuit, I'm afraid, Hale says. Maybe I can persuade Leo to make an offer of settlement. He's just offered me the cost of the defense, I say. Hale tries to seem surprised. How much? $75,000. His mouth falls open. Look, son, you're crazy if you don't take it. You think so? I ask, playing his game. The door opens and Leo comes back. His honor stares at Leo and says, $75,000. That's what my client said, Leo explains. I'm sure of two things. First, Hale is serious about dismissing the lawsuit. Second, Drummond is too anxious to settle. I leave the room with Leo's arm around my shoulder. On the drive back to the office, Deck makes the very good argument that no amount of money will save Donnie Ray's life now. So, we should take what we can and make things a bit easier for Dot and Buddy. Bruiser's secretary is crying when we arrive. Nobody has seen Bruiser, and she knows something is wrong. I call Yogi's. Prince will know where Bruiser is. I find out that Prince has gone too. I hope he's safe. I've got a lot on my mind right now, but I still can't stop thinking about Kelly Riker. I know she's going to get another beating from her husband. It's only a question of time. And the thought of that baseball bat connecting with her beautiful body makes me want to kill him. Chapter 7. Donnie Ray's Statement. Dot seats me at the kitchen table and says Donnie Ray is getting weaker and weaker. We went to court yesterday for the first time, I tell her. The insurance company has made an offer to settle the case. How much? They calculate they'll pay their lawyers $75,000 to defend the case, so they're offering it now to settle everything. Dot goes red in the face. Those bastards think they can shut us up now, right? Yes, that's what they think. Donnie Ray needed a bone marrow transplant last year. Now it's too late. I agree. Her eyes are red and wet. I was wrong. This mother has not given up. Just what are we supposed to do with $75,000? Donnie Ray will be dead, and it'll be just me and him. She points at the Fairlane. I guess you said we'd take it, didn't you? Of course not. I can't settle the case without your permission. We have until tomorrow morning to decide. We'd better talk to Donnie Ray, she says, and leads me to his bedroom. Donnie Ray gives me a big smile and tries to keep smiling. Dot holds his hand while he listens carefully. Will they go higher? He asks. Great Benefit has made the jump from 0 to 75,000. Deck and I suspect they may go as high as 100,000, but I won't be so optimistic in front of my clients. I doubt it, I say, but we can try. How much will you get? He asks. I explain how my third comes off the top. He looks at his mother and says, That's $50,000 for you and Dad. You can finish paying for the house, buy a new car, put some in the bank for your old age. I don't want their money. Donnie Ray touches my arm. Do you want to settle Rudy? No, I don't, I say. I look at him, then her. They wouldn't offer this money if they weren't worried. I want people to know what great benefit has done. I leave them and hope that when I come back tomorrow, I won't have to tell them that our case has been dismissed. Across town, Deck is waiting, smiling proudly. What do you think? 4 rooms, plus restroom. Not bad, he says. I thought this would be the reception area. Maybe we'll use it for a secretary when we hire one. We step through an open door and into a short hall. 1 room on each side. This one here's the largest, so I thought you'd need it. I step into my new office and am pleasantly surprised. It's about 15 feet by 15 with a window on the street side. It's empty and clean. I thought we'd use the other room for conferences. I'll work out of here, but I won't make a mess. He's trying hard to please me. Just relax, Deck. I like it. Hey, I almost forgot. He turns on the television. It's the noon news report. The first thing we see is our old office. Employees are being allowed to come and go, but aren't allowed to remove anything. The next shot is from outside a club, one of several known for the few clothes worn by its dancers when they are entertaining clients. The police, we learn, are searching for Mr. Stone and Mr. Thomas, who are suspected of a number of criminal activities. Prince loved cash. I know that much. On my first day at Yogi's, one of the waitresses told me that 80% of Prince's income was never reported. Whatever he's done, Prince is my friend, and I hope he's safe. Run, Bruiser, run! Dex says. I know Dex having a hard time controlling his excitement. The idea of having his own office and keeping half the fees without a law license is great for him. The offices will look beautiful in a week. However, when Deck calls me for the second morning before the sun is up, it's difficult to be nice. Have you seen the paper? He asks. I was sleeping. Sorry. Bruiser and Prince are on the front page. If you want to wake up at 4, then fine. But don't call me until 7. No, 8. Sorry, but there's more. Guess who died last night? How am I supposed to know? I give up. Judge Hale. Fell down dead by his swimming pool. I try to clear my head. That's hard to believe. Yeah, there's a picture of him. What a bastard. How old was he? I ask. I don't know why. 62. You need to see the paper. Yes, I'll do that, Deck. See you later. The paper seems a bit heavier this morning, and I'm sure it's because at least half of the stories are about Bruiser Stone and Prince Thomas. They have not been seen. I continue reading and find a very old photo of Judge Hale. Who will get his job?